Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start, I would like you to look around and see what's new in that domains of literacy. According to Krashen, if we want a comprehensible output, we need comprehensible input. And one of that is environmental prints. That's why teachers will label their windows, their doors with names. One of our goals in this 11-day training is for us to internalize, digest, feel it, place it in our hearts and mind, the 14 domains of literacy. Why? We have seen the results of the EGRA, do we have the EGMA and the National Achievement Test. Even in the mother tongue, our students are not performing well. And the answer to that is for our teachers to be able to understand the what, the why, and the how of the 14 domains of literacy. It's like 14,000 or 14 days. But we also learned from Dr. Pado's presentation that you don't develop the skills one at a time. In a day lesson, sometimes you develop 3, sometimes you develop 2, sometimes you develop 4. And in a week lesson, you were able to develop the 14 domains of literacy. But the next page would also explain to us, okay? Before I forget, we have distributed to you handouts, okay? This one, please keep that. Please keep this. Each of you should have this one. The definition of the 14 domains. Okay? The definition. Then, the second page, please help me mark. Because we don't have a colored printer. And so please help me mark. If we look at the different domains, oral language is covered from kindergarten to grade 12. So please write an arrow. Okay? Oral language should be from K to 12. Phonological awareness is K to 3. Okay? Alphabet, knowledge, handwriting, phonics and word recognition, spelling, so on and so forth. Please draw an arrow so that you will be guided later on with the activity that we'll be undertaking. So, oral language is K to 12. Composing is K to 12. Grammar awareness is K to 12. Vocabulary development is K to 12. Reading comprehension is K to 12. Attitude towards literacy, language, and literature, and of course, study skills is K to 12. And if we look at that, we also notice that there are competencies that stops up to grade 3. Okay? So if we look at that, after grade 6, we no longer talk about 14 domains, but we're only talking about oral language, composing, grammar, vocabulary development, attitude towards literacy, reading comprehension, and study skills. So we only have 7 domains after grade 6. Okay. I would like to present this in summary. Okay? That's why it is said that oral language is very important. Because according to Ainsworth, oral language development is the secure base on the premise that whatever, when you can say it, you can read it. When you can read it, you can write it. Okay? Anything that is in the repertoire of knowledge of the child in oral conversation will form part or will serve as the basis of the child later on when the child will read. Let's, for example, it's part of the child, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old child knew about McDo because they always go to McDonald's. Even if, because it's part of the child's oral vocabulary, when the child sees that the logo, even if the child does not know how to read, the child would always say, it's McDonald's. Then later on, when the child will be taught decoding skills, phonics and word recognition, and the child will be able to blend the sounds together to be able to read words, he will always understand what is McDo because that is already part of his oral vocabulary. That's why it is very important, especially in learning second or third language. That's why with a Filipino, we have oral language first prior to literacy. And even in English, we have 1 year of oral language development. English starts grade 1, third grading, but the literacy of English will start in grade 2. Because it is the third language of the child, it is important that they will have first lots and lots of vocabulary, so that when the child will be able to decode that words, the child will be able to understand that because it is already part of his oral vocabulary. Okay? And you see, vocabulary cuts across. If you remember, Dr. Pad was saying, phonological awareness or phonemic awareness. As in basket, and you show the picture of a basket, that is already vocabulary development. Oral nga lang, because the child does not know how to read yet. Okay? So we will have an activity. Our activity is to walk through. Each of you, each of the region was given a Manila paper and a lesson plan. Okay? You walk through the teacher's guide, identify the following. The day, whether it's day 1, day 2, because it's a week-long lesson. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Then, identify the domain or domains covered. As I've said, in one day, sometimes you covered 2 or 3 domains. Then, specific objectives for that day. Objectives for the day. Then, the activity or the activities used. Use the pro forma for the presentation after 15 minutes. So this is your pro forma. Copy this on the Manila paper, and I'm giving you 15 minutes to walk through the TG that was given to you and fill the form. Remember, okay? Each of the region were given different lesson plan or teacher's guide. Others were given grade 1, others were given grade 2, others were given grade 3, and others were given kindergarten. After 15 minutes, let's have the presentation. Happy working!